Hello. um, Welcome to My Thoughts No One Asked For, where I share my thoughts none of you asked for, probably even care about, but I'm going to share them any motherfucking way. Happy Thursday, guys. Um, hey, chat, aren't you on live? I literally was just starting up my TikTok live. I thought you were on live already. Um, Hello. This is what the last Thursday of April. No, not April, March. I'm tripping. Last Thursday of March. Oh, okay. Well, hey, welcome. I will tell you one of the things that I will be talking about is Young Miami, J. Cole, and Usher, like the way that they speak about Diddy is like I want to discuss the way that they spoke about Diddy recently in their interviews. We're gonna have that conversation today. But anyways, let me give myself the proper introduction. If you want to also know, by the way, if you want to know like what I'm gonna talk about on the show before I come on, follow me on Instagram. I've been posting like little videos, like promo videos on my Instagram stories the day I go live, so you know what time I'm going live and what I'm going to talk about. So, just in case you want to know, follow me on Instagram, and I will let y'all know, get y'all prepared for the show on my Instagram story. Okay. Also, thank you, chat, for engaging in the chat. Anybody else that's watching right now, introduce yourself in the chat so I know who's watching and I can incorporate you into the show. Okay. I'm not just going to be yapping myself. I want to know what you guys think as well. And I finally got my chat back on my screen. See, I had to like fix something in Streambot. But, anyways, so I'm gonna give my week recap. I want you guys in the chat to give your week recap as well. How was your week? What did you do? For me personally, I know I told y'all last week I was determined to go outside and be productive. I lied. Okay. I lied. That's not true. I didn't go anywhere. Okay. Um I thought I was going to, but I did not. Um so yeah, what I did do is what I did do is I went to the park and I enjoyed some nature while everybody was at work. I went to the Beltline. In Atlanta, people have been talking about how packed the Beltline has been lately since the weather has been so nice. But see, when you go when everybody's at work, it's really great. Like it's really enjoyable. And I'm someone who doesn't like overpopulated places. It really is annoying. So yeah, I've just been getting outside, enjoying the nature. I know the pollen kicks my ass, okay? The pollen definitely kicks me. So I wasn't really feeling the pollen this past week, but I just popped the Claritin and put on a mask and kept it pushing. Okay, I was just fine. But yeah, that was pretty much it. But like I said, I stayed home. I stayed home. I've come to the conclusion, with me, I'm just really a homebody. I like to be home, but also this is the thing. Yes, I naturally like to be home because for some reason I feel like I am an old lady in a 23-year-old body. So basically, by the time it gets dark, my body feels like, okay, bedtime. Like, I just don't really care to be outside of my house past like 9 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock, unless it's like a concert or something. But outside of that, like concerts and I don't know. Just it depends on what it is, but going out to the club and especially in Atlanta because part of it is stemmed from, me being a woman and just not feeling safe in certain areas. And so like, I'm sorry, but if you invite me to a function and it's on the wrong side of town, I will not be going. I just won't go. I don't give a fuck who comes with me or who's going to be there. I will not attend. I will be at home, okay? I don't even play those type of games. Um I don't know. Naturally, it's just the house is safer. You don't have to worry about anything. So, I don't know. I really like being a homebody, but that's why I have to have people around me that will pull me out of the house. But don't be annoying about it. Don't be annoying, like try to pull me out the house every single weekend. You have to know me well enough to know my limits, and to know when I'm in the mood to go out or to know the type of scene that I want to be in. So that's why I've always liked that I've dated guys that are more outgoing or like want to go out places and do things, because it forces me to do that as well. So I really, really like that. So yeah, that's why I need that energy, people to like pull me out of the house, because I want to stay locked inside. Okay. But I will work on it, I promise. I have some like concerts and events coming up next month for sure. So April I will be outside. I already got shit I done paid for, so I'll be outside eventually, okay? And this weekend I think I'll dilly dally around town. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. Um, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed your week. I enjoyed mine. Generally, I it's been like overall a very, very good week. Um, like I said, I have been just the past few days. I felt a little tired throughout the day or in the middle of the day. It's really weird, but anyways, here we are. Also, for you guys watching on Twitch, if you are having any issues, if it's buffering a lot, or if you're having any issues during the live stream, please let me know. Um, so I can be aware and I can fix that. If the live experience is awkward or if there's something going on, please let me know so I can fix that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the show. Oh, hey Roy, thank you. Okay, cool. Definitely stay for as long as you can for sure. And like I said, if it does start acting a little weird, definitely text me so I can fix that. But I just want to make sure that the live viewing experience is good for everybody because it's very important. Okay, so first I want to talk about very quickly how right now I want everyone to like look around at what's going on in the world, right? I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm have a different message, right? I want everyone to pay attention to what's going around us, and I want you guys to realize how important it is right now more than ever, really, to rely on your skills. Rely on your skills and your natural talents that you also can financially benefit from. And also we need to be putting as much energy into supporting black media, black content creators, black artists, um, black entrepreneurs. We this is like the season of community, and we all need to be very aware of that, and we all need to contribute as much as we can. um I don't, subscribe to, yes, the world is on fire, but that doesn't mean that like you should just say fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, I always say you should definitely be aware of what's going on, but like if you have a job right now, cool, great. Hold on to it if you can, but also don't rely on it either. If you have some talents or some skills that you may not have put that much energy into, go pick up that fucking sewing machine and see what you can do. If you know you can do hair a little bit, go practice on your friends and work on it. Like, this is really the era of, if you have natural talents or skills that you've developed at a high level and you can create some kind of business from it, or it's just something that maybe you can do for people, like word of mouth type of thing. Maybe if you don't necessarily have a whole business out of a certain skill, maybe you tell your friends know what you do, so that way if they talk to somebody who needs X, Y, and Z and they know you could do it, then they can send them to you, type of thing. We really need to all contribute to that. And again, when it comes to social media and content creators, we need to be supporting black creators, black media, black artists, black musicians, black entrepreneurs. We gotta, I'm telling y'all, I'm just warning you now. I'm not gonna get too deep into it right now. We can talk about that in another stream. I just wanted to start off that stream with that, just so everyone can you can hear this first and remember I said that. Okay? So just wanted to put that out there very quickly. Okay. So moving more so into my topics for today. Um I want to okay, so I had this thought this past week, right? And you guys watching, let me know if you are the person who is intimidating or who usually gets intimidated by this type of person that I'm going to describe, right? So I noticed that the type of person that I am, and it's honestly been like this for majority of my life actually, because I was even like this when I was a kid or when I was in middle school, high school. I have always had this energy of like, I do what the fuck I want. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. And mind you, I had this mentality when I was like middle school, high school. Now, not to say that I was like disrespecting my parents or just, you know what I'm saying, or dismissive. I was like honestly in a like I was very like mature at a young age. It was a little bit disturbing actually. Um and so I was very much so like I'm going to do exactly what I want type of vibe. And so as I notice as I get older, when I get around people or when new people get to know me, they do get intimidated by my ability to just do exactly what the fuck I want. And oftentimes I run into people that question themselves a lot, or they don't have that confidence to just say fuck it or to just do what they want or to completely go after or jump into things. A lot of people, I always say people are on their own individual journey. So when you meet someone, they're not going to be on the same, exact path as you. But I do notice that like I naturally intimidate people who aren't there yet as far as having that I do what I want type of attitude. I also do I'm not going to dismiss the fact that there is some privilege in there on my part. Specifically when it comes to my parents, like thank God I have parents that I could say I want to go be an astronaut tomorrow, and they, even if they don't understand it, they would still cheer me on. Not everyone has that foundation, not everyone has that support for whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody even has both parents. Not everybody has good relationships with their parents. So I understand that is definitely an element of privilege that I do recognize that I have when I say, as I'm saying that, um I know that there can be intimidation that kind of oozes out of me. And so like I said, I acknowledge that there's a bit of privilege there, so I will not discount that. However, just in a very general sense, it's definitely not something that it's definitely a mindset that throws people off, and it confuses the fuck out of them. And if it's not how they're operating in their life at that point, they will naturally be a bit distant towards you. Or, sometimes people will, out of curiosity, want to know how you're like that. And they will want maybe advice or guidance on how to get there themselves. But honestly, for most people, they just are naturally distant towards me because they just don't fucking get it. And honestly, I don't get it either. Like I said, I've been like this my entire life. Um, but I just have this the sky is the limit mentality. I can do what the fuck I want, even if it doesn't make sense, even if logically it makes no sense, or it might seem like the outcome won't be positive. I'm still gonna do what the fuck I want because this is my life. These are my set of rules, and I control this shit. And I also think that on top of me doing what I want, I also do what I say that I'm going to do, right? So there's people that get around me that say that they want to do X, Y, and Z, and they have all these plans and they never execute them. And when they see me speak about things and actually do it, and I'm consistent, and they're like, oh shit, like she's actually she's actually like doing exactly what the fuck she said she was gonna do. I know that that throws people for a loop. Yeah, I know that that throws people for a loop. And Roy, in the chat, do you have like any experience with that? Do you know kind of what I'm talking about. Cause yeah, I've just noticed that there's just certain people who are naturally going to be distant towards me because of that. And I won't act differently towards them because of it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand where it stems from, but I don't really have any advice or guidance on how to really get there. Everyone just gonna have to figure it out on their own. But I have realized that for sure, that naturally some people will just be distant towards me because of that, and it's okay. Um, I don't know what to really do about it. That's just how I am. So yeah, if you're let me see what Roy said in the chat. Absolutely, either they hate it, love it. Either they hate it, love it from a distance, or actually support. Exactly. It's either just one of those. It's very simple. So yeah, I'm pretty used to that. And honestly, that can make it a little difficult to get closer to new people because of that. Um cuz that energy just doesn't mesh well. Like someone who is I do what the fuck I want, and someone who isn't, or they're constantly second guessing or overthinking and overanalyzing, and they're doing a lot of talking about what they're going to do but they don't actually do it. That energy doesn't really it, you and that other person won't get along for very long. Like eventually y'all will be distant from each other. But anyways, I want to move along to the next topic now. Okay. So I'm gonna play like two clips. Actually, yeah, like two clips, because I don't feel like pulling up the Young Miami one. But J. Cole and Usher, in their most recent interviews, they both spoke about their opinion on Diddy. And I'm gonna play both of those clips for you guys. And then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. We're gonna have an interesting conversation here. So yeah, I'm gonna play J. Cole and what J. Cole and Usher said. They're about like 1 minute long. It's not that long of a video. And then I'll pretty much just tell you what Young Miami said as well, which is pretty much the same shit. Yes, let's pull up this first. Okay.
Same way I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man.
Sorry, my mic was off. Correction. He was not misrepresented. That is a lie. That's cap. Let's not let's not cap, please. Please, please.
Man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, and I acknowledge that, and that's why I see him as legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor, but he was like you had that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip.
Look, I'm not gonna play this whole clip. Real quick, I'm gonna respond to what he just said really quickly. Chad, we're watching. Chad, you can't keep coming in my chat asking me what I'm watching or what I'm talking about. You need to just be in the stream, okay? Goddamn. Um, cause I walked away with this thought when I watched the Diddy documentary of like, because two things can be true, right? Yeah, he's a piece of shit. And you know what Usher is talking about here, like, we can't dismiss, what this person has contributed to music and blah 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 blah. And that's okay for you to say, right? Because you cannot erase history, right? However, it's just like I don't like that. I just don't like the structuring of that of how that's being said. It's just like, oh, well, I don't have anything negative to say about him. And it's like, and I'm about to get to it after I finish playing J. Cole's clip. But it's just like, I don't have a problem with them. I don't think anyone has an issue. See, this is the thing. When people say that like someone like Diddy is a monster, he's an asshole, then people like him will be like, oh, well, we can't dismiss what he contributed to music and what he did for the culture and blah, blah, blah. It's like, who the fuck dismissed that? Literally, who the fuck dismissed anything that he's contributed to rap, to hip hop? What the fuck are y'all talking about? People are talking about his literal character and the way that he treats people in real life. No one has dismissed or discredited anything that he's contributed to music. So I don't understand. That's why that tone or bringing that talking point up annoys the fuck out of me, because we can anyways, I'm gonna play J. Cole's clip and then I'm gonna open up the conversation.
Yes, me and E.
Okay. So, yeah, explain that.
Nah, you know what? I damn near wish I could because it's such an ill story.
Right.
You know what I mean? But matter of fact, we did a podcast, me and E,
Okay.
like a year and a half ago, where we kind of ran through like the first part of my career up to Forest Hills Drive.
Right.
And we had a bonus episode that was the whole episode was just about that night.
Okay.
And that altercation, right?
Right.
And we was gonna put it out because at that time, you know what I mean? Like me and Puff, like we hadn't had no problem for years. Even after that, like it was cleaned up quick and we was in a good spot.
Right.
But you know, Puff was on the song that I had on off season, and like so we was gonna put it out, thinking like, yo, it's cool. Like enough time has passed, he ain't gonna feel no way, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then all the shit happened with him.
Right.
And I was just like, nah, it felt like damn near like kicking him in when he's down. Like, you know what I mean? It was like it would gave the news in the world more ammo.
I got you saying.
Just destroy this
Right.
this dude.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time to put it out.
Wasn't a good time. So similarly, right now it's like
Yeah.
I want.
Bruh. Like, where do I start? Okay. So I'ma just, and also just to loop Young Miami in this conversation as well, her interview, she kind of echoed the same sentiments. Like, that terrible version of him, I've never experienced, whatever, right? I'ma just piggyback what Cole just said, right? Cole just said, oh, I didn't want to kick him while he's down. I didn't want to give the world more ammo to destroy him, right? I love that I just seen so many tweets responding to this clip of a still shot of him literally kicking Cassie while he's down. You, J. Cole, are saying you didn't want to say anything bad about Diddy because you didn't want to kick him while he's down, when he quite literally kicked Cassie down and then kept kicking her while she was already down. Like, and that's what we literally seen with our own eyes. So I know that he didn't put two and two together, like probably when that came out of his mouth, maybe he didn't realize that was very harmful for him to say, and honestly ironic as fuck. But like, what the fuck are you talking about? You didn't want to kick him while he's down. Well, he doesn't have any problem doing that. He doesn't have a problem kicking Cassie in her fucking face, in her fucking stomach, and beating the shit out of her in front of everyone, in front of anyone, in public. Like, what? Like, I just thought that was very, like, a very poor choice of words. Anybody defending Diddy is a clown. Yeah, and so, like, this theme, because this is a very real thing. This is a very, you got to remember, Usher was probably R-word and essayed by Diddy, and Diddy probably has mad dirt on him, so he feels he has to say good things about him in fear of retaliation. It definitely, Usher specifically, his tone certainly came across like, let me watch my words. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a very common thing for people who speak on very powerful people in the industry, such as a Diddy or a Jay-Z and all of these people, that it's like, oh, well, you can never speak bad about them. And like, they treat them as if they're God or something. I think it's weird. Over in the TikTok chat, my only thing with Diddy is this: I also want to hold people around him accountable. Yes, I agree with that as well. Justin Bieber probably got out and was traumatized. Yeah. So this is the point that I want to hit home real quick, because this is a real thing, and I understand that you being a person who let's talk about Diddy, right? Let's talk about Diddy. So let's talk about Cole, Usher, or Young Miami. Okay, let's just say out of however long they have known him, right? Is it possible that none of them have experienced Diddy in a negative or harmful or toxic way? Absolutely, right? So them saying, "Oh, well, I don't have anything bad to say," right? Because the experience that I've ever had with him directly hasn't been bad. I've only ever known him to be this kind of person, which is the opposite of what I've seen him, which is the opposite of how I've seen him act with Cassie and these other people as well, right? That is a valid experience, right? You only know what you know, right? And so when you experience someone in real life, yes, I get that it is hard to wrap your mind around them being an entirely different person, or them having a whole nother side to them that you've never experienced, and you battling with yourself with aligning that negative side of them. I understand how it's hard for you to identify them as that kind of person, which is a person that you've never experienced directly. I understand that. However, even if you are the person who doesn't experience this particular individual's bad behavior, right? Even if you only ever had a positive experience with them, that negative side that of them that could possibly exist, right? Whether they have accusations or people have said that they have done bad things, or you have seen them do bad things to other people, you still have to hold that version of them accountable. As if you're someone who's their friend, or someone that you just, if there's someone that you just care about, yeah, the good side that you see, cool, that's valid, but the other side and how they act to other people is valid as well, and you have to hold them accountable. Because if you don't, at that point you're just complicit, and at that point you are just enabling their bad behavior, and at this point you don't give a fuck about them actually growing or learning from their mistakes, or truly understanding the gravity of the how their actions have affected other people. And I just think that saying, "Oh, well, I've never experienced that version of him," is a fucking cop out, and I think it's very dismissive, and I think that it shows that you don't actually care that he really learns from this and no longer treats people shitty moving forward. It's just like you more so are putting how he treats you and what you've experienced with him above how he's treated everybody else. I think that's bullshit. I think just as Young Miami, Usher, and J. Cole are all like, "Oh, I can't say nothing bad about him, blah 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 blah." I feel like you also need to say, "Well, although I didn't experience him be shitty to me, right? I did see him beat Cassie's ass, and that was fucked up. And he needs to learn and grow from that, and he needs to accept his consequences. He needs to do his motherfucking time and needs to learn from that." I don't understand why they can't just say that. I don't understand why they can't just say, "Hey, he wasn't shitty to me, but he was shitty to a lot of other people, and he should be held accountable for that. He should do his time, and he needs to learn from this and grow from this and never do this again." Why can't they say that, as well as, oh, I've never experienced him be bad to me. Why is it that y'all have to paint him as this fucking, oh, he's not that bad? Why do y'all have to do that? Just two things can be true at once. I'm gonna read your comments in the chat. Let me see. You know, Diddy truly thought he was invincible because to allegedly abuse a white woman. Oh Lord. Okay. J. Cole literally fought Diddy, so he has had a negative experience. But it is that's what I'm saying. Like, even Cole, his tone is just like, oh well, I don't want to say anything negative because I don't want to kick him while he's down. What are you talking about? I would have preferred him not to even speak about him at all. What the fuck are you talking about? Young Miami was probably with the shits though. She's still a victim. And see, this is the other part of it, right? Another reason why I call bullshit on what they're saying, especially Young Miami, is because me personally, I believe that people always bring up, you know, some of the tweets that she had and the way that she spoke to Gina, and she was very much so talking like she was with the shits with them freak offs. And cool, but that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, whatever. But it's like, girl, sometimes people who try to be like, oh, he's not that bad. Oh, I didn't experience that. Oh, he worked on himself by the time he got to me. He wasn't that bad of a human. Sometimes people doing that also is them trying to take the spotlight off of them because they may have also been complicit in some kind of way with their bad behavior. So they want to make it seem like, oh, well, he's all polished up and better now. Like, he's not that bad. You know, that was in the past. Girl, I call bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call bullshit to a certain degree. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Diddy was like never necessarily abusive to Young Miami. But I don't necessarily believe that by the time he got with you, he was just a fucking saint and he was like this. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Same thing with Usher as well. It's like, I feel like you know some things and I feel like you are protecting him for whatever weird reason, maybe to also protect yourself. Don't know. I'm not gonna put my tinfoil hat on this stream because that's not what this is for. But if you have opinions, please comment down below and let me know. I may do like some more like conspiracy specific streams so we can dive more deeper into that. But just on a general level, I just did not like the tone of these comments from these people. It pissed me clean off. I'm not gonna lie. Just because you didn't experience the shitty version of someone doesn't mean that shitty version of them doesn't exist. And I think that them speaking about him like this is like you're not holding him accountable for the shit that we know he has done. Like, you're not even holding him accountable for being an abusive asshole. You're not even holding him accountable for beating Cassie's ass in a hotel when there's camera footage out for everyone to see. I just don't, like, my brain really cannot understand why he just gets absolved from like any accountability from his peers. Or at least some of his peers. Or it seems to be most. I just don't fucking get it. People really have to, and like I said, like, I have experienced like knowing someone, right? Building my own individual relationship with them, and then someone coming to tell me X amount of years later, oh, I hate this guy. He's a piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, word? Interesting. This is very foreign to me, right? Like, I didn't necessarily, and there's nuance in that because I also feel like the intention behind me knowing that information wasn't in the right place, but that's neither here nor there. That's a conversation for another day. When I got that information about that person that I had already developed a relationship with, I held them accountable. I read them for filth, right? I read them for filth and I held them accountable, right? And I had never experienced that version of that person, but I held that person accountable for what I heard from someone else that they did. I dragged them and I read them for filth and I held them accountable. Even though I didn't experience that, I'm still going to hold you accountable for it. Because just as you can be the one to be like, oh, well, I don't experience that version of that person, one day you will be that person. And you never want to dismiss that kind of behavior because you can be the person on the receiving end of it. And two, it's just better for you to be a part of the change, right, than to be complicit. If you're truly someone who cares about them, or if you're their friend or something and they're important in your life, you hold that person accountable. And so these people, these fucking industry motherfuckers, this fucking Young Miami and Cole and Usher and all these people who enable his behavior, and they're like, oh, well, he's not that bad. None of y'all clearly give a fuck about him for real. It's either that or y'all know shit that y'all just don't want to say. Because why are y'all acting like y'all didn't see video footage of him beating Cassie's ass? Why are y'all acting like that doesn't exist? Why are y'all acting like people are just making things up? That like, oh, y'all are just trying to destroy him and take him down. What kind of conversation are we having here? And like I said, I'm not saying that you have to hold him accountable for every single accusation that has, that he has against him, right? Because certain things may not be true, certain things, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I keep bringing up Cassie, because I'm like, the other stuff, if you want to argue whether it's true or not or whatever, then that's a different conversation. But that's why I keep bringing up Cassie, because I'm like, that's undeniable proof that he was an asshole to her. So why are y'all ignoring that? Don't understand it. Please let me know your opinions in the chat. I thought that this was very weird, but again, just to close out this topic, if you do experience that, because it's it will, if it hasn't happened to you, it will. Like if you do find yourself in a predicament where you have heard something about someone you're close to or that you love or care about, and it doesn't sound like them, and it's like negative, right? They're harming people, or they're being toxic in any kind of way. I understand that it might be your first instinct to defend them or dismiss it, or to act like it didn't happen because you haven't personally witnessed it. But I implore you, especially if you actually care about this person, to hold that the other side of them that you haven't experienced accountable, and to not be complicit. Hold them accountable still. It's very important. Anyways, moving right along. So, I just realized I haven't had now one commercial break. Give me like 1 second. Commercial break. Why does me being by myself and minding my business and not saying anything bother you? That combination of intellectual intimacy and physical intimacy, dangerous combo. You Christians, right? Can I tell y'all something? Y'all do know that God loves gay people too, right? Just getting to know each other and it don't work out. No, I don't want to be your friend. I actually never want to speak to you again, actually. I actually never want to see you again, to be honest. Definitely don't think that any woman should be crashing out over a man. It's not worth it. He don't care. You look crazy. Is it not important for new rappers to want to have their own identity? How come we can all admit that we are in a literacy crisis while simultaneously clowning Kai for trying to read? Catch daily clips posted wherever you get your short form content. On TikTok, you can follow me at It's Your Girl Asia Clips. To see my Instagram reels, you can follow me at My Thoughts No One Asks For. And to watch my YouTube shorts, you can also follow me at My Thoughts No One Asks For. Hello. So sorry I didn't give y'all any commercial breaks. I was like really in flow state there. And so my light, let me turn this shit down. I look so my light is just like it's too bright today. Okay. So moving on to my next topic. I'm doing very good on time today. I'm so proud of myself. um so really quick, I wanted to talk about the tough love versus soft love approach. So there have been like certain conversations going on online that I have felt like I've noticed that the tone is a tough love approach. It's like me telling you what you need to hear. You're not gonna like how it is. um I'm gonna be honest, call me sensitive or whatever you want to, or call me immature, I don't know, but I don't like the tough love approach in general. Just in general. Um I am a big believer in like I always feel like there's better ways to say things. Always. There's always a much better way to say things, especially if you are talking, especially when it comes to your tone. Um and your intention, especially if your intention is wanting to help people or you want to educate people, you want people to hear you, to understand you. Um, it's kind of hard for most people. It's hard for your point to fully get across when you are when your tone is very aggressive or condescending or hateful. Um, However, on the flip side, there also are some people that do respond well to tough love. There are some people who are just naturally built for that. And depending on who you are, some people can still hear the message even if the tone is um a tough love approach. Me personally, I just don't think that in general that works the best. I never think that that is the best method. I'm not saying that you have to sugarcoat things and you can't be honest with people and you can't express your true feelings. I am saying that there's always a better way. There's so many words that exist. There's so many different ways for you to say things in a better way, or just a more of a digestible way. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And for me personally, um it's all about intent. If my intent is to attack, if my intent is to hurt, then I don't give a fuck what my tone is, right? And I think that that is the issue with a lot of y'all's takes is your clear intent is to attack. Your clear intent is to hurt and harm people with your words. It's not necessarily to educate people or to help people. You just want to play this moral superiority game and you just want to hear yourself talk, or you might just want clicks and to get paid off TikTok. And so and that's just me being 100% honest with you. People like to dress up their hateful messages as like tough love. And sure, I guess if that's what you want to call it, I'm not going to argue you down, but I just don't think that, maybe I'm so open to being wrong and I really want someone to maybe like debate me on this because maybe I'm wrong, right? or maybe I'm not viewing it from the right perspective, but I just have never understood why people like initial gut feeling to do is just to always have the approach, like this aggressive ass approach. I don't understand why that's necessary all the time. You don't all every take you give, every opinion you give, and you're directing it towards a group of people. If you're trying to help these people or if you want them to actually listen to you, um if your target audience, right, of your message isn't a group of people that you hate, right? Because if I'm getting up here and I'm talking to homophobic people, right? Clearly I have something, I don't like homophobia. I don't like homophobic people. So my tone might be aggressive and hateful because I don't like those people, right? But if I'm talking maybe to a group of people that I do care about or that I want to help or hear what I'm saying, why would I think that my tone is being aggressive is actually going to make them want to hear me? That's why I always question people's intent on social media. And so just also be aware with what you're engaging with on social media. Y'all, we have to like pay more attention to these people that are clearly trying to rage bait their way into into some kind of online like online presence so they can make a living off of social media. Like a lot of the times we literally hand people platforms that shouldn't have them and that clearly are misusing it. um and so I think that people just have to be more careful with what they engage with, because there's so many people online who very clearly just want to rage bait people. And if y'all want to keep making them money and giving them a check in their account every month, then go ahead, but I'm not doing that. um and just to go ahead and wrap up this show, guys, I wanted to end this episode talking about, because I mean it maybe kind of piggybacks off of what I was just talking about. um how do I want to word this? I understand that there's like a lot of things that there's a lot of change that we want to see. I would say as Gen Z specifically, right? There's a lot of change in this world that we want to see. There's a lot of change within our own people that we want to see. Um, I'm not gonna say that it's impossible, right? What I am going to say is I think that with certain things, with a lot of things, we need to be putting less energy into trying to change the minds of stubborn adults, and we need to put more energy into how we raise our kids and what we teach our nieces and nephews and our little cousins. Like, I'm sorry, but the youth is the future here. The youth is, if anyone's going to see change or the kind of change that we want to see, it's most likely not going to be in our lifetime. Um and at the end of the day, we are dealing with old people who are stubborn and stuck in their ways and who have their minds made up. And we have people who who naturally identify with the toxic ways of how this well, really this country operates. um and I don't necessarily want to say that there's not much we can do to change their minds. I don't, because I'm not going to say that, but I do think that the stronger point is, I think the better thing to do that will drain our energy less is to put more energy into our youth. Because honestly, they are all we really have right now. Like, I have a niece that just turned 18 years old. Like, she's old enough to vote. Like, we need to put more energy into them. Um, because that, at least that's what I think about a lot of the times, right? Like the change that I want to see in the world, that is going to have a lot to do with how I raise my child, right? Because when I'm not here, my child would be here. Um, and just also any interactions that I have with young people, like I always want to try to pour into them what it is that I want to see, or what I wish that we could have right now, right? In this country. I don't know about y'all, but I don't care about changing the minds of stubborn people. I don't care about changing the minds of individuals that have their minds made up, that choose to be ignorant, that choose to be hateful, um, that choose bigotry. I don't have the energy for it. We need to stay united, and we need to put more energy into our youth. That's what we need to be doing. Less energy into trying to change the mind of stubborn adults, more energy into the youth and raising our kids right. Because guess what? These racist white folk, MAGA people, they raising their kids like that. There's people out here who are raising their kids to be hateful towards black people, to be afraid of black people, to be homophobic, to be all of the phobics. Like, these toxic ass people are gonna raise their kids how they're gonna raise them. And so I feel like with us on the other side of that, we need to be, instead of trying to change their MAGA minds and trying to, shift the perspectives of people who have concrete toxic ideologies, we like what it's just so like counterproductive. So we need to put more energy into our youth. Not to say that we should just kind of like give up on fighting for a change and pushing for a change or anything like that. I think we just need to redirect our focus and our energy a little bit. But yeah, that's just more so my quick thoughts on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I tried to do better with my length of time today. I think it was good. Okay, yay. Sorry I forgot to play certain commercials for this episode, but make sure you're following the clip page. Make sure you follow my Instagram if you want to know what time I'm going live and what I'm talking about. Make sure you follow the YouTube channel. My thoughts on what I asked for. My main YouTube channel, It's Your Girl Asia, is going to be active a lot more very soon. So make sure you follow that channel as well. I'm filming a lot of content, working on a lot of stuff right now. So I'm excited to show you guys what I'm working on, what I keep talking about every fucking episode. So I'm going to stop talking about it. Actually, yeah, this is the last episode. I'm going to be talking about that. Y'all just going to have to see it once I do it. Okay. I'm going to shut the fuck up now. But yeah, thank you for listening to this episode. If you made it all the way through, I really appreciate it. I will see you guys next Thursday at 7. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Bye. Okay. So close.